Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.
People really don't know what their expenses will be because they don't know how long that they're going to live.
Americans are worried they won't have enough saved for retirement now more than ever.
Retirement is going to cost for many folks over $1 million.
Is no sure thing in investing, but a lot of people think that annuities may come close to that.
It's going to more safe things that they know. If they know they're going to need that money to supplement their retirement, well, then you can't play that risk.
This is the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr., founder and partner of Heischman Financial Services, serving the Columbus and surrounding areas. Jon specializes in educating pre-retirees and retirees about safe money strategies and ideas. Now, it's the Safe Money and Retirement Show. Here's Jon Heischman Sr.
Good morning and welcome to the Safe Money and Retirement Show. I'm glad you tuned in. I'm Jon Heischman, your host, bringing this show to you on behalf of Heischman Financial Services, located in Reynoldsburg. So I want to talk about the lost secret of planning. And of course, because our firm specializes in retirement planning, this lost secret of planning is about retirement planning. And you know, it's funny. The more things change, the more they stay the same. We have a very sophisticated, technically oriented country. It's a country where advancements are being made every day and where progress is always expected. Moving ahead is always a goal, or should be a goal. And yet, we're not much different in many ways from years ago, because goals were the same and underlying foundations of progress and expectations were the same. The things that we do now, correctly and incorrectly, are pretty much the same things people have always done, correctly and incorrectly. So, in my opinion, one of the things people do correctly is planning. And conversely, one of the things people do incorrectly is not planning. Everything we do in our lives revolves around some sort of planning. What about your money? You know, most Americans literally spend less time planning out their financial future than they do a trip to the grocery or hardware store. All the little details that we think about in our daily activities and plan for are, for the most part, ignored by most when we talk about our money and retirement planning. Most Americans, no matter what incomes they have or what they do for a living, will end up not being able to retire on the standard of living that they had prior to retiring. I think it's really easy and simple to plan for your future. And that's my opinion, because that's what I do with my clients. But I have to plan properly with them so they understand the need to plan. I don't know of any other way around it. There is no secret, no technique, no method of doing things that have not been found today, that hasn't worked in the past, and will work any better in the future. So look in the dictionary, the word planning. Here's how it's defined: to form a scheme, a method for doing, achieving, something we do for virtually everything we accomplish in our lives, everything except our financial future. When you think about it, it just makes sense to take the time to plan for your future. There are 3 steps that you need to plan for your future that will help cover what I help clients with. First, let's find out where you are today. Second, let's find out where do you want to go. And third, building a plan for you to get there. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But there are some things that need to be addressed in order to make up a plan and to get started. What's your net worth? What are your assets? How much will these assets earn before you retire? Now, if you're already retired, what should you do with these assets? Where's the best place to have your money at retirement? Do you have a budget? Will your current income, projected income in retirement, keep up with inflation and the cost of living? And what is your tax bracket? What are your goals and objectives? And is there a debt reduction plan so you can be out of debt before retirement or early in retirement? So these are a few of the questions that need to be addressed when we talk about retirement planning. Can you answer these? And do you know where you're at this point? If not, that's my job to help you, because what I've seen over my many years in practice, those that are successful in retirement, by their own definition, they have planned. We also review that plan once a year, modify the plan, or if it's working, continue as is. The sooner you start planning, the better off and more secure you're going to be later on in retirement. I met with a couple towards the end of the year last year, and they thought they had a plan, but it didn't cover pretty much any of the topics that I just referred to. And after several meetings, we put together an actual plan, which included their budget. They had a little bit of debt, and we wanted to eliminate that as quickly as possible. So there was a plan to eliminate that debt. We were able to reposition some of their assets into accounts that were going to give them guaranteed income to supplement their Social Security. That would give them the peace of mind of their income coming in throughout retirement. Now, this is not an unusual situation. Many fall into this category. And if you think you're in this group that is just not sure that your plan is correct or up to date, or maybe you don't even have a plan, I want you to contact me. I will show you what's worked for my clients and what will work for you. Now, keep in mind, everyone is different. The amount of money is different. So the plan needs to be designed for your situation to make sure it works. You can reach me by calling 888-426-0177. Again, 888-426-0177. And this is not a sales meeting. There's no cost and no obligation. It's my way of giving back to my radio listeners, their family, friends, and referrals. It's so important. Planning will give you the best chance to reach your goals. It'll give you the best chance to deal with problems and changes during your retirement. And it's going to provide you with the best chance to achieve peace of mind and contentment that we're all seeking, especially in retirement. When that paycheck ends, we need to form a scheme, a method for doing and achieving. So once again, we want to find out where you are today, decide where you want to be, and build a plan to get there. Knowledge is power. Obtaining that knowledge on how to plan for your retirement is invaluable. It's about time for me to take a break, but I want to give you my website to visit, look around, find out more about Heischman Financial, and be sure and let me know how I can help. Visit Heischman FS.
Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.
.com. That's spelled HEISCHMANFS.com. And the number again is 888-426-0177. Stay tuned. I'll be right back with the second part of the Safe Money and Retirement Show today.
Thanks for listening to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman. For more information, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Or visit their website at HeischmanFS.com. More of the Safe Money and Retirement Show in a moment.
You have spent your entire working life hoping what you put into your retirement accounts will help you live comfortably in retirement. Hope has no place in retirement planning. Hope can make retirement feel like a looming problem instead of a rewarding life stage. I don't want to operate under hope, especially today when longevity is at its highest. That's a good thing, but it's a problem when we talk about retirement income. You need a well-executed plan. This is Jon Heischman from the Safe Money and Retirement Show. I can help if you'd like to schedule a telephone conversation or a face-to-face meeting. Call 888-426-0177, 888-426-0177.
Life expectancy is at all-time highs, so that means you've got a future to plan for at any age. If you have longevity in your family tree, then you need financial education from someone with the experience and knowledge to guide you into and through your retirement years. Jon Heischman and the folks at Heischman Financial Services are committed to helping you achieve your retirement goals with a low-key and trustworthy approach. Call Heischman Financial Services today to get started on your retirement future. Call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Heischman Financial Services has your future in mind.
Welcome back to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman. To contact Jon, the number to call is 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Once again, here's Jon Heischman.
Welcome back to the Safe Money and Retirement Show. I'm your host, Jon Heischman. I do want to mention that mid-year is a great time for a checkup, a financial review of where you're at, reviewing your accounts, making sure they match up to your risk tolerance. If you're getting ready to retire or already retired, you're in the preservation stage and designing income for the future. It's also a great time to review your beneficiaries, wills, and trust because it's part of planning. Think about that. Give me a call. We can review your current situation and looking at your cash flow statement and updating your financial statement. 888-426-0177. I welcome the opportunity to help you. 888-426-0177. And by the way, if you need any of those forms, let me know because I do have a supply and I don't charge for those or there's no obligation. It's my way of saying thanks for listening to my show. All you have to do is call the number that I give you. Your message could be, send me the financial forms. Now, I was discussing the lost secret of planning during the first part of my show. Continuing on that topic, we need to address the ways that you could lose your money or run out of money in retirement. I think that's the worst possible thing that could happen. And I want to make sure that you don't, because no retiree wants to run out of money, or no retiree wants to lose money. But things happen, unexpected situations, emergencies, or not planning for those risks that we're all going to face in retirement. So part of planning is risk planning. Now, I realize and have seen over the years, many retirees cannot prevent or plan for all of the risk that they're going to face. It might be limited resources to purchase the plans, or I should say products, that's going to help eliminate potential risk, or they choose not to cover these risks, or maybe procrastinate. So as a retirement planner, I want to at least make each client aware of those risks and how we can prevent those risks causing you to lose or run out of your money that you're going to be dependent on during retirement. In addition, I see that most retirees have not been advised or learned how to set up a financial plan that will allow them to protect themselves from any of the major ways that a retiree could run out of money. Most are just not aware until it's too late and they experience one of these risks. Unfortunately, there is so much emphasis on investments, growth, where to put your money, which, don't get me wrong, is important. But the majority of time, the risk factors are overlooked or not brought to the client's attention. I think it's, you might say, mandatory. I want my clients to be aware and, if at all possible, figure out a strategy to protect them against those risks. I can break these and condense them into 6 different areas that's going to cause problems for retirees. As I mentioned, problems that can be reduced or eliminated through proper planning. So I'm going to give a brief discussion in the interest of time of these 6 areas that I address and want to bring to the attention of my clients. They could cause the most problems for a retiree and create the greatest chance for them to lose or run out of money. So number 1 is going to be taxes, then catastrophic medical expenses, inflation, bad investment planning, lawsuits, and passing away without a proper estate plan. And when I say an estate plan, it's really for everyone. However, when you hear the word estate plan, you automatically think that's strictly for the wealthy, but not true. Your estate plan could be as simple as a will and trust and correct beneficiaries on your accounts. Taxes are so important during retirement. Addressing the ways to reduce your taxes is critical. Catastrophic medical expenses. Here we're addressing the area of your Medicare cost, out-of-pocket cost, as well as planning for taking care of your long-term healthcare needs, simply because the odds are very high that at some point you're either going to have to stay in a nursing home or retire long-term care. That is probably the biggest area that is going to wipe out retirement savings. Inflation, well, we all know about inflation because we've definitely experienced that over the past several years. Inflation is not going to go away regardless of the inflation rate, and your plan needs to be able to adjust for inflation. You need to be able to increase your income from those accounts we're using to generate income and have the flexibility to adjust that income based on inflation. What about bad investment planning? Here's another area where I see retirees continuing to make mistakes. Most don't understand what investments are or how they work. It's usually a part of every retiree's plan, but it needs to be adjusted to your risk tolerance and risk capacity during retirement. And it could be you have too much at risk or not enough at risk, and you're losing potential growth. We want to address that. Lawsuits, well, most retirees don't realize that lawsuits are a common plague. and can cost some or all of your life savings. Even if you're not working, the potential for lawsuits are always there. What coverage do you have to protect yourself on a liability situation? And are your assets set up properly? How should they be owned? How should they be titled? Especially today, because they are so common, much more so than 10 or 20 years ago. So we want to talk about that. Lastly, passing away without having properly set up your estate. And we get back to wills and trust, protecting your retirement assets. Again, planning is the answer. It's the key. Now, all this might sound difficult, but it's really not. It's getting to the point, keeping it simple, which I try and do for each client and everyone that I talk to. I'd like to hear your concerns, what you've done in the planning area, and what you haven't done. These can be addressed. 888-426-0177. That number again is 888-426-0177. The great thing, if we talk about your situation in person or over the phone, there is no cost. It's complimentary to my radio listeners in appreciation of you taking your time to tune in to my show. From my experience, the peace of mind and the satisfaction of having a plan, proper plan, going into retirement or being retired is priceless. Be sure to tune in next week at the same time, the same station for my show, and I look forward to hearing from you. This is your host, Jon Heischman.
The Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr. To get in touch with Jon, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. For more information about Heischman Financial Services, visit their website, HeischmanFS.com. That's HeischmanFS.com. Join us again next time for the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr.
Every business has an ambition. PayPal Open is the platform designed to help you grow into yours. With business loans so you can expand and access to hundreds of millions of PayPal customers worldwide. And your customers can pay all the ways they want with PayPal, Venmo, Pay Later, and all major cards, so you can focus on scaling up. When it's time to get growing, there's one platform for all business. PayPal Open. Grow today at paypalopen.com. Loans subject to approval in available locations.